And as I talk to foreign investors, I want to invest in Canada. They think our country's run by idiots.
It's the richest country on earth run by idiots.
Welcome back to Moose on the Loose. My name's David. Today we have not just one, but two clips of Kevin O'Leary ripping Justin Trudeau. These are some of my favorite because Kevin O'Leary doesn't take orders from anyone and he runs his mouth, which is always fun. We got a couple other stories after that. McGill University, another clip from Pierre Poilievre and some other stuff. So let's jump into this.
Some people don't like it. I don't care.
There you go. Well, give us your truth on the situation for the economy. Everybody's trying to figure out where we go from here, what happens with interest rates. You spend a lot of time in the U.S., obviously, as well, so there's a separate narrative there. But what's your assessment of what's going on right now?
Well, I read a great op-ed piece yesterday in the Globe and Mail by Dan Davio, the CEO of Canaccord, and I thought he hit the mark on a really important issue for Canadians. This concept of the competitiveness of nations, the competitiveness of provinces or states. Because post-pandemic, something unique has happened. I've noticed this as an investor. Let's say you're a fantastic tech team out of Waterloo. I mean, Waterloo's legendary micro-robotics, and you want to raise $200 million for your startup. Now, as an investor, with the proposed changes to the tax landscape of Canada, which is a policy decision that, the country has to make, you have to think about this. Why would I nexus the headquarters of that new hot startup, that growth company? This was Davio's point. Why would I leave it in Ontario where the taxes are no longer going to be competitive? Why wouldn't I just move that to Texas or to Florida or to North Dakota if it was an energy tech deal, which is exactly what's happening because we know that 40% of the people in these companies don't have to work at HQ anymore. So you leave the tech team in Ontario or in Alberta, wherever it is, and you build the company outside of a punitively taxed jurisdiction. This is bad news for Canadians, and I think we should all wake up and understand policymakers do a lot of damage. It reminds me of the early 90s when Bob Ray came into Ontario, and we were the fastest growing software company in Ontario. We moved it to the U.S., created tens of thousands of jobs, raised billions of dollars, and not a dime of it or one job in Canada, because Bob didn't believe that it mattered. He always thought that every company, and I'm not criticizing him now, it's a long time ago, but I'm just pointing out bad policy creates unintended consequences. Ray's policy was very damaging for Ontario in real estate and tech. I see coming something very damaging for the Canadian economy.
So at the end of the day, do you think Ottawa should reconsider this capital gains tax change that's been announced?
Yeah, they need to 100%. What they should have done is the exact opposite of what they did. Instead of increasing the inclusion rate to 66.7%, they should have dropped it down to like 33%. And of course, Justin Trudeau does everything possible to hurt this country because he's not working for our country. He's working for someone else. Big Pharma, big China, big someone, not Canada.
Yeah, I hate to get into partisan politics, and I don't mean to at all in this statement, but I've been very vocal about policy in Canada. I think Justin Trudeau is a wildly successful politician. I really do. I think he's a horrible manager. I think the policy that he's putting forward in these different mandates within cabinet are from mediocrity. These people don't. It's so hard to say these words, but again, it's true. And Canadians should start thinking about, I don't care who is the prime minister, but they have to have the concept that Canada is a very important economy. We're the richest country on earth by capita, by natural resources, and it feels to me, as an investor, and as I talk to foreign investors to try and attract capital here, they think our country's run by idiots. Sorry.
And so are you reconsidering some of your, you invest in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Here. Are you actively trying to figure this all out for yourself?
Yeah,
well?
I read Davio's piece and I said he's right. Now I have to contort my investment strategy. I want to invest in Canada, but I don't want to be taxed at an uncompetitive rate that makes me in the industry, my cost of capital goes up. So I think what we should do is not raise, we're right now in the middle. We're right in the sweet spot. Raising taxes now is a bad idea. It's bad policy, regardless of the partisan politics. Doesn't matter. But he's right. It's going to make people like me and others say, wait a second, let's just hire those engineers up in Canada, but let's put the company somewhere else where it's competitively taxed.
There you have it. Kevin O'Leary saying our government is run by idiots on national television. He's right too. It's just like everyone's moving to either Texas or Florida because their tax rates are basically non-existent. They have other stuff there. I think if you move to Texas, there's higher property taxes and stuff, but in general, running a business down there is way better because there's no income tax. Next up, we got another clip here of Kevin O'Leary when he's on Virgin Radio.
You should understand that homes have capital appreciation, that's good, but they're negative cash flow to you for maintenance and taxes, and it's a nightmare. And once you get past 4, you don't have enough days in the year to spend enough time in any one place. So I feel very sorry for my wife. She's now a property manager, and it's driving her crazy. And we're trying, because there's always something going wrong, or the elevator, or the roof, or the taxes, or, we own homes in Florida, in Boston, in Geneva, in Canada, and, I almost feel homeless because I don't know where to go next, but I'm doing it because I'm an investor and I invest in these countries. Not so much in Canada yet, as I like to say, and I feel I'm allowed to say this because I am a Canadian citizen. It's the richest country on earth run by idiots. And so I'm waiting for the management there to change because I don't put money to work there. You can't get anything done there. You can't get permits, you can't do anything. But Justin Trudeau, who's the Prime Minister, I will give him his accolades, very successful politician, worst manager I have ever seen. I wouldn't let him manage a candy store for me. He'd be bankrupt within a week. I mean, the guy is the very worst manager there is. But you can have a successful politician and have idiot management at the same time.
That's hilarious. Kevin O'Leary. Just dishing it straight there, yeah. Well, it's all good for a laugh. It's a scary thing because Justin Trudeau is going to be pushing away tons of businesses. And by the time that Poilievre gets in, it's going to be a rocky ride. He's going to have to make a lot of drastic changes and try to get people to come back. Bring businesses back, bring the doctors back, bring everyone back, bring the Canadians back. It's tough times. Speaking of Pierre Poilievre, we got this clip here. It was a couple days ago from the annual prayers breakfast. This is such a savage grilling of Trudeau in the most delicate way possible. Just listen carefully to this speech.
The word minister in the church is actually the same meaning, root meaning, as minister in politics. The root meaning of it is servant. Prime Minister, therefore, is not first master, it is first servant. The people, of course, in a democratic system are the masters. They choose the commoners who grant and withdraw, hopefully withdraw at some point in the not too distant future, the confidence that allows the ministers to serve. And that service is always rendered with the people on top and the servants in leadership on the bottom.
He's just drinking his glass of water. Just look at that body language there. So Trudeau, when he first mentions it, you can see he turns his head. Where is it? Right there.
Democratic system are the masters.
He's like, oh, what are you saying? He wasn't really paying attention, it seems, until then. And then he gets offended right here. There, if I move it to this screen here, you guys can see a little bit better of him grabbing his glass of water there.
And that service is always rendered with the people on top and the...
Trudeau's like, I'm not a servant, I'm a master. You could just see he doesn't like the idea of being a servant. He really doesn't. That makes him awkward and uncomfortable. That's why he's drinking his water. We all know this to be true. If we're at a party or something, we're uncomfortable. It's like, oh, can I get a drink of something? And just like, it's a way to hide into your drink. And it's a way of enclosing and protecting ourself from something we're not comfortable with. So next up, we have the remnants here at McGill University of the Palestine protesters. There's got to be jail time for this. This is a disgrace to our country. Like, look at this. Spray paint all over the stairs and the columns, and these are like historic buildings. Like, why are these people not in jail? To quote Kevin O'Leary, our country's run by idiots. Like, what is this? Seriously. And speaking of Palestine protesters, I don't know what to say here. Ever wonder why the Jagmeet Singh NDP and the Justin Trudeau Liberal Party tweet about Islamophobia? Look at these voters. These politicians tell the police to do their jobs, but there's no backup from leadership. The cardboard key is cute. I got cardboard boxes out on the deck there. I can go make one of those too. This is not Canada. You can't just chant in the streets your hate. Next up, we've got this article here. The federal government announced $1.7 million in foreign LGBT research. It's also on here on MSN, Liberals LGBTQ, 1.7 million. And this one linked up a video here. So this is a video from the Iraq parliament, which passed harsh anti-LGBTQ plus law.
المادة 1 يلغى اسم قانون مكافحة البغاء المنصوص عليه في قانون.
So you can see at the bottom here, it'll be repealed and replaced by an this and this law. And you can see them voting here.
سيدات والسادة النواب أطلب التصويت على المادة رقم 1. تصويت. 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 تصويت.
We know that groups who oppose 2S LGBTQI plus rights are increasingly well-funded and globally coordinated, said Liberal MP Anita Vanderbilt. She credited activists for continuing the fight in their blah, 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 blah. So to me, this looks like another thing to send our money offshore to somewhere else, and then someone else can maybe pick it up later. It doesn't... Where is this actually going? Who is this going to? What research is it actually funding? Next up, we got a photo here posted by Canada Proud. This is the lineup for the food bank in Chrystia Freeland's riding this morning. This is on Friday morning. There you go, Chrystia Freeland. That's your legacy. Look how many people are on the street now waiting for food. This is... Maybe Chrystia Freeland has some extra food at her house. Could always knock on her door and ask. Maybe she'll be generous and share some of her extra food. Next up for Mother's Day, this is what the left is pushing today on Mother's Day. Happy Birthing Person's Day to my favorite chest feeder. The stash. This has gone so wacky. Jumping over to my group here, what do we got today? Who's the most hated man in Canada? Is he Chrystia Freeland there? Don't forget this Avatar and Stephen Gilbo. Doug Ford, Jagmeet Singh, all above, Klaus Schwab, Sean Fraser. Yeah, Sean Fraser has to be on this list. The whole Liberal Party. Well, obviously we've got to go with the kingpin here, but if I could pick two, I'd put Sean Fraser on there too. Or all of the above, or the whole Liberal Party. Power of makeup, before and after, before and after. This is horse's butt. The difference between humans and animals would never allow the dumbest one to lead the pack. You think you're smarter than me? I buried things smarter than you in my litter box. My family's bank account matters. Leafs new coach with my unique coaching style, the cup will win itself. Yeah. You cup both balls. I ain't gonna read that. And finally, let's wrap it up with this one. Politicians should wear sponsored jackets like NASCAR drivers. Then we know who owns them. Yeah. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of Kevin O'Leary's thoughts there on businesses just leaving Canada or moving their headquarters. It's bound to happen here. We're losing doctors. We're losing skilled trade to America. We're losing just people moving out of this country because Justin Trudeau. And now we've got people coming in trying to change the culture, bring in their hate. It's just not a good scene right now. We got to get this turned around. The ship needs to be turned around right away. Thanks for watching the end of the video here. I greatly appreciate all you. Be sure to subscribe. Ring the notification bell. It brings you good luck. Lots of good luck. We'll keep fighting for freedom, and I'll see you guys in the next one.